think Knightsbridge, and immediately you think of Harrods and streets crowded with supercars, hypercars, and limousines. And you'd be right, they're all there. But there are also residential streets close by, and then there's a mix of the more mundane, but there are also the weird cars there to be found. Today I'm taking you a tour of all of the above, and let me know in the comments below which is your favourite car that I found today. And as ever, please share, please comment, do like, and please, above all, do subscribe.
Now, what do we have here? Well, we're outside Harrod's, so of course it is the Harrod's Rolls-Royce Phantom 6 limousine in Harrod's livery with your livery driver. It's giving me full-on a woman of substance 1980s blockbuster vibes. I love it. This car dates from the early 70s and is looking great. Now, dating from right now, from 2022, is this Rolls-Royce Cullinan in baby blue. It looks fabulous right next to this Brabus 700 in a more steely blue with the most scrumptious yellow leather interior. I'm obsessed. Totally want that interior in my car right now, please. Yummy, 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 yummy. Now, of course, we're outside of Harrods, so we're expecting supercars. And here is a Lamborghini Huracan Performante in a stunning matte blue with that tricolore on the side and those gold wheels. Love it! Wow, look at this AC Cobra. It is looking stunning in that blue. Oh, twinkling in the sunlight with all that chrome and that big exterior exhaust, those wheels. Ooh, and look at those delicious silver stripes finishing it off. It looks great. Just street parked outside someone's Knightsbridge house, as you do. You can just imagine it's going to roar when they start that engine. Yum. Now to something a bit more, I was about to say classically British, but not really. Contemporary British, absolutely. The Aston Martin DBX. Look at that ducktail. I love it. In this sage green, it looks super elegant and smart. And that interior looks delicious. I just want to hop in and drive it. Quite by chance, I seem to be giving you loads of bespoke Rolls Royces on this channel. This one is a Silver Spur by Park Ward. Extended wheelbase late model, as you can tell by the bumpers and the wing mirrors. From a Ferrari 265 GT to an Aston Martin DB9. Staying with a slightly Bond theme, how about this Land Rover Defender from Spectre? It looks fabulous. It's super accurate. It's a recreation of the real deal. Oh, or a contemporary Defender. This one has been reimagined by Urban. It's a gorgeous sort of steel blue. I think it looks really great. What do you think? Normally I don't like the black wheels, but in this case, I think it really works with the contrasting bodywork. Yes, please. So which is it to be? New Defender by Urban or Original Defender by Bond's Q Team? I don't know. Ooh, I think I might want the movie one from Spectre. Maybe I want the Urban one. I can never decide. Do I have to decide? Could I have both, please? Oh, now, G-Wagons are everywhere in London, as you can see. Here we've got this bronze one, and then we've got this black one. And, yeah, they're quite part of the streetscape. But I love a Suzuki Jimny, especially in this sort of lime flower green, lime, yellow, whatever colour you call it. It looks great. Clearly it was raining when they parked. I'm loving these new Ferrari Romas. They are a coupe that's meant for town, and they look particularly fantastic. Whilst I was videoing that, what should appear but a beautiful silver Mercedes 280 SE. Listen to the V8 rumble. It looks even better static, and the owner himself was taking photos. Ooh, do like a Bentley Bentayga. I didn't like them when they first came out, but now I really do, especially in this sort of volcanic orange. Very nice. You cannot stir in London for Porsche 911s. Look at this. I think, was that a turbo? It's convertible and it looks great in this sharp bright red. Now it's London, so of course there are Rolls Royces everywhere, like this stunning Phantom 7. Wow. And here's another brick, the gorgeous Land Rover Discovery. I think this is probably people's most favourites. I think I quite like the current model, which is much more contentious, but this one is just stunning in its simplicity, and I think is guaranteed to be a classic. Let's just take a closer look. So, from town to country or country to town, very nice. Now, you don't see so many of these Honda Civic Type Rs. I really like them. I think they're great. This sort of spaceship generation. The current model, I think, is just a bit too overwrought. I think they got this sort of about just the right amount of wackiness at this time for this model. I love them. Another car you don't see very many of is the Maserati Levante. It's their SUV model, which you would have thought would have sold like hotcakes, but really you don't see them much at all. This is a even rarer facelifted model in moderner spec. I think they look really quite nice, and I think it'll be interesting to see if they become a classic in the future. Hello, new Beetle. You look fun. Zoom, zoom. Off you go. Oh yes, here's just another Phantom 7, a Porsche Boxster, and various other cars. Oh, and a Nissan Qashqai. There are all sorts. And here we have a Ferrari California. They're very popular in London, probably thanks to their electric folding hardtop. And right next to that is a new model Bentley Bentayga with the new lozenge-shaped rear lights. And, of course, a bright red Mini Cooper. Oh, and hello, another Mini. This is a Mini Cooper Works. Yum. That looks great with this red roof. And look at those wheels. Ooh, I like. Ah, another Aston Martin. Now, which do we have this time? Is it a Signet? Is it a... No, it's bigger. It is a Rapide. These are very clever models. I love this car. It's one of my favorite Astons, actually. So they wanted to do a four-door saloon, and so they stretched the DB9 to make it into this beautiful Rapide. And I think it's more elegant, in fact, than the DB9. I really love it. What do you think? At one time, you wouldn't bat an eyelid if you saw a BMW 3 Series, but this third generation model is pretty rare, and it's lovely to see. I'm guessing from the headrests and the wheels that it's a 325i. Looks gorge. And here we have a new Genesis GV60. Oh, and a McLaren 720S. But it's the Genesis that caught my eye more. It's their new electric model, and it's very closely related to the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6, and indeed the Kia EV6. Genesis is the South Korean group's luxury brand, and so as you can see, look, you've got some fun details in the interior, like the sort of crystal ball for changing and selecting gear. Ooh, let's have another look at the 720S. Oh, hang on, like so often happens with me, the owner's calm and they're about to start the car. Let's have a listen. Well, wasn't that fun? Always great to hear the engines rev up. And here we have Porsche's Taycan in a rather lovely shade of metallic pink. Oh, now what is that I spy? Something with cladding. And here's something else with cladding. A Volvo V70 XC, the cross-country model. I love these. They're much rarer than Lamborghinis in London now as well, particularly estate cars. But how good does this look? I think they're a really fun idea. The sort of slightly raised ride height, the chunky sort of wheel arch extensions, and that good solid Volvo-ness. Yes, please. Now, what is this orange beauty? It is the very latest Lamborghini Huracan Starato. I think that stands for something like, well, basically cross-road or cross-country or rally. And it has the raised ride height, much like the Volvo XC, the wheel arch extensions in a sort of chunky matte grey plastic, and lots and lots of stunning stripes. I love it. I think it looks great. This has roof bars as well, spelling out the Starato on there, and that sort of extra air intake at the back. Oh my goodness, it does look fantastic. Really fun. And I love a decal. I really do. And look at those extra lights at the front, rally lights. Oh, it looks fun, fun, fun. Let's take another look. Oh yes, and look at those stripes. Yummy. And I guess the 63 probably refers to the date that Lamborghini was founded. That's a guess. You're going to correct me in comments below. But I imagine that's correct. And big shout out to Ken Shake Cars, whose car this is. Thank you for parking it here. And next we have an Aventador, SV, and full chat. That V12 howl is the sound of summer in London. Now, changing pace entirely, this is a car you see a lot of in London. It is the Nissan Figaro. I shan't sing Figaro, 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 unless you wish me to. But I'm sure you wouldn't, I don't have a singing voice. But these are really fun. They were produced at Nissan's Pike factory. They're one of 4 styles produced. The Figaro, the B1, the POW, and the S-Cargo van. They are lovely. This Figaro is based on the Nissan Micra and is really nice. Now, how about this? A Bentley Turbo. Now, has it got a wheel clamp? I think this one's actually wheel clamped for its own protection rather than by the traffic wardens. Yes, let's have a look. It doesn't really stand close inspection. It's in the sort of beluga black, those gorgeous quad headlamps, but don't look closely at those wheel arches or at the back. It's looking very sorry for itself. This one, I think, ran when parked, but not so much now. Bless. Now here's another Figaro. This one's sort of in a lovely mink colour. They, as I was saying, they're based on the Nissan Micra, but what was gorgeous about them is that the interiors are all leather. You've got this full electric sunroof that goes right down at the back, and this sort of retro cabin with kind of like a Bakelite looking steering wheel and an in-dash CD player. They would sort of look back to the 50s and 30s for Art Deco inspiration. Really gorgeous, an instant classic. According to the website, they produced 20,000 only, and all 20,000 were sold out before a single one had hit the road. I can believe it. They are an instant classic. Now this is lovely to see. It is Lotus's new Emira sports car. It's a V6, rear-engined, and look, this is a first edition in British Racing Green. How good does this look? A very worthy successor to the Esprit and Evora. Now look at this lovely Bentley Arnage. I showed you on a previous video in Mayfair a Rolls-Royce Silver Serif, and here's its sister car, the Arnage. Of course, this one, however, when Bentley was sold, this Arnage was produced for way longer than the Rolls-Royce Silver Serif. The production stopped really quickly after only about 3 years. The Arnage got reimagined by VW and completely re-engineered and lived a much longer life than its Rolls-Royce sibling. Oh, look at this Ferrari SF90. It looks great. It's got a bit of a Harrod's colour scheme going on there between its matte green and silver and yellow stripes. Looks really tasty and very much tone parked in front of Harrod's. Now, this is something you don't see very often. This is a Land Rover, I think 88. It's one of the very early three-seater off-roaders. It's great. It's really charming. Look at that. There's a little heater there. I remember those wipers, you have to turn them on individually. And this is someone's daily driver. It's all aluminium. That was the only metal it could get after the war when this will have been built. And well, certainly when it was designed and built. And it looks great in town. Normally on the street, there's also Range Rover Evoque, two-door, three-door, as you'd say. And I just wonder if it's the same ownership. But this one is well loved. I've seen it roof up and roof down, and it looks like a riot in town. And here's another Lamborghini Huracan. Did I tell you they're everywhere? This one is an STO. This is the Batmobile spec. Look at it. It is so the Dark Lord. It looks fabulous. Matte black. STO logos. Carbon fiber details. And look at that air intake and the special fin at the back near the mega super spoiler. That does look mean, moody, and ready for business. Now, you can't do Knightsbridge not have a Jaguar. And why not an XJS convertible? This is one of the later models, facelifted in the 90s, looking beautiful in the aquamarine. Now, you have to always have a gold car in SW1, and this BMW i8 is the gold foil dream. I think it looks really good, actually. I really like it. The wheels need to be a bit more goldy. They don't quite match, but I'm not complaining. I love seeing it.
So I hope you've enjoyed this walk around Knightsbridge today. There I was expecting to see, well, this. And there it is, this Lamborghini. And then I also saw this, the Volvo. But that's the Knightsbridge dichotomy. You've got to love it. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this tour. As ever, please comment, like, share, and do subscribe. Until next time.